In this lesson I want to take a look at a couple of story problems where we might find perimeter and area helpful. So just a quick reminder here. If we're talking about a rectangle, the formula for perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. For area, it is length times width. So it says a rancher wants to put a fence around a rectangular shaped garden to keep out her horses. If the dimensions of the garden are 18 feet long by 7 feet wide, how many feet of fence will she need to enclose the garden? So we're talking about a rectangle, so potentially either one of these formulas could be applicable. So the question is, are we talking about either perimeter or area in this story problem? Well, the key here is that we want to know how many feet of fence are needed. So in other words, we have this garden here that's 18 feet, and sorry about my poor rectangle here. It's supposed to be a rectangle, but it's supposed to be 18 feet long by 7 feet wide. And so she wants to put fence all the way around this. Well, to put fence around this, she needs to know the distance around it, and that's perimeter. So we know that in this case we should be using that perimeter formula, 2 times the length, which is 18, plus 2 times the width, which is 7. So 18 times 2 is going to give me 36, so we'll have 36 there. 2 times 7 is 14, and then I can of course add 36 and 14 to give me 50 feet of fence. Remember, in a story problem we always make sure we label, and with perimeter the label is always, in this case, feet. If we were using some other unit, if it was yards it would be yards, if it was inches it would be inches. Now let's take a look at this second example. It says, how many square yards of carpet are needed to cover a living room floor if the dimensions are 7 yards long by 4 yards wide? So we have another rectangle, a rectangular living room this time. So we have 7 yards on the long side, and we have 4 yards on the shorter side. Now it says, how many square yards of carpet? So we're covering this this shape here. We're covering it with carpet. So that's a question of how much space it takes up. Right? And so that's definitely a question answered by the area formula. So area is equal to length times width, which in our case is 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is of course 28. And then remember, with area we're always talking about square yards, and they give us that hint right here. It's square yards, or remember the abbreviation is yards with a little 2 up there. So 28 square yards of carpet is what is needed to cover that rectangular living room floor.